The Terraria mage class is presented with a handful of amazing weapon choices right at the start of hard mode. You have weapons like the Life Drain, Crystal Serpent Staff, and Spirit Flame, which can make the start of hard mode just that little bit easier. Today, we're going to be looking at a more unfamiliar early hard mode mage weapon that I think can completely carry you to Plantera due to its power and versatility, the Tome of Infinite Wisdom. This staff is one of the few weapons that has a secondary right-click attack, making it a great option for large groups and bosses. But before we look any further, what's the best way to obtain this thing? The Tome of Infinite Wisdom was added as part of the Dungeon Defenders 2 crossover update, and therefore requires us to farm the Old One's Army event. This can be triggered by talking to your Tavern Keep and purchasing an Eternia Crystal Stand and Crystal. Now, due to the scaling of this event, we are required to have taken at least one mechanical boss in your world. Quite unfortunate, I know, but it all makes sense once you see the power of this weapon. Before starting the event, we need to create a summoning area. This simply needs to be a flat platform with a minimum of 61 tiles in both directions. Although this does let you go ahead, I wouldn't recommend it. Instead, as the event allows up to a max of 120 tiles in both directions, I'd expand it by about another 30 tiles in both directions for more room. With the event underway, we need to be on the lookout for Ogres, which can be quite challenging. Not only do they start spawning on wave 7, the final wave, but they have only a 10% chance of dropping the Tome of Wisdom. Actually getting to wave 7 in the first place isn't a walk in the park either, as the tier 2 Old One's Army really isn't meant to be fought this early, but it's still very possible to reach the final wave by using a weapon like the Crystal Serpent. When you finally see an ogre spawn, make sure to focus your efforts fully on killing it, as if you're too slow and you lose, you won't be able to get its drops. After about 2 to 3 attempts, I did manage to get it to drop. Let's just hope that 1 in 10 drop rate treats you well. So, here's why all this effort is well worth it. When fired, 4 high velocity pages that do not pierce will shoot out, dealing damage precisely in a straight line. Although this is pretty good, the true power of this weapon comes with its secondary attack, which summons a freaking tornado that can infinitely pierce enemies. There's really nothing like it. This doesn't make its primary attack obsolete though, as although it performs much weaker on groups of enemies, it is absolutely meant for more tanky enemies. It's very easy to use and is extremely accurate to the curse's position. But really, who cares when it can do this to a group of mimics? And its impressive power doesn't stop there. What I'm about to show you made me realise what I was missing, and why you have to get this weapon in your mage playthrough. Its unrivaled power against a destroyer with its tornado attack. Its infinite piercing basically means you can hit every segment at once and drain all of its HP in just a few seconds. Although I was blown away with this performance, I knew I could do better. In some conditions, you can catch a destroyer all bundled up just after spawning, and you can literally take him out in 3 seconds. Yep, that is an average of 40,000 damage per second. Now, although this is by far the peak of this weapon, its usefulness doesn't stop there, as its primary attack can be a great option for Plantera. And I know, there is statistically a ton of better options at this stage of the game, but if you've already got one, you might as well save yourself farming for something else, and just use it to carry you through the whole start of hard mode. It's easy to use, the damage is good, and it can skip one mech boss altogether. Despite all of this though, I do still get why not many people go for it. Compared to weapons even like the elusive Spirit Flame, which is a hassle to craft, the Tome of Infinite Wisdom is by far one of the most difficult and time-consuming paths to go. If you're not too interested in having the best of the best for mage crowd control, I'd recommend going for a fan favourite instead. What do you think? If you've used this staff, is it worth the grind? Thanks for watching. For more Terraria content like this, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.